How's it going, guys? Panther Films here, and today we're going to be reacting to Season 1, Episode 5 of Star Wars The Bad Batch. This episode is titled Rampage. So last episode, the Bad Batch arrived on Pantora, which was a planet in the Clone Wars, and they ended up meeting a familiar face called Fennec, who obviously we know her from Mandalorian. If you don't know her from Mandalorian, then this would be the first time you saw her. But basically, she's a bounty hunter, and she's looking for Omega, or she's trying to get Omega. Probably because the Kamonians want her for some reason, or someone else wants her. We don't know. We'll have to see what happens there. That was pretty much it. I mean, we had like Echo kind of like have some cool little storyline with some droids, but it wasn't like much. It was just a subplot, while the main plot was Fennec getting Omega. But yeah, that's pretty much all that happened last episode. It feels like the show should have just come out all at once, because I think that it's too slow paced for a weekly viewing. But maybe that's just me. Yeah, I'm curious where we're going to go now. Obviously, you know, Fennec is on the hunt. Crosshair's alone, dealing with his recruits. And the Kamonians need Omega. Now, my predictions for this episode are the episode's going to start in the ship, the Bad Batch's ship. They're going to go to a planet. Shit's going to go down on that planet, and then they're going to leave. And then Omega might do some stuff here and there. I hope we see a Crosshair and like the Empire side of things, but we probably won't. Let's stop doolally about and get right into the fucking episode. It still sounds like Dull the Fates, like that little choir part at the beginning of it.
Not an exact fit.
What the fuck?
Technically it was Crosshair's, but he doesn't appear to need it.
God damn it.
Why are we going to Ord Mantell? I thought the plan was to lay low.
Not while a bounty hunter's after you. And you trust him?
That gong droid's being used as a weight. Well, not every Jedi's dead.
Right, not a toy.
Buzz Lightyear, come in. Buzz Lightyear. Is this a new planet? My God, I'm pretty much correct with my prediction. They go on a planet. Shit goes down. Yeah, that doesn't look shady at all. It's like Cyberpunk. It's like one of the hours of Cyberpunk, except with Cyberpunk it'd be glitching out and like you'd fall through the map. What the heck?
Which one of them is Sid?
Was I not clear? You're in the wrong place.
Well, that's clearly Sid.
I'm certain this is Sid's.
What's your deal, Tiny?
You're Sid.
Yeah.
You're sharper than your friends over there.
So, we came all this way for nothing.
Reminds me of, what's she called? Episode 7.
I never had clone deserters come to me before.
Well, they're not deserters.
Yes, well,
You thinking I care? Cut to it and tell me what you want.
Who's voice acting Sid?
We encountered this woman on Pantora.
Fennec.
I know a bounty hunter when I see one.
Yeah, you don't say.
That depends on what you boys do for me.
Of course, yeah. Fetch quest.
You pull a job for me. That's how this mercenary thing works.
No, it's how an open world game works. The little high five.
Kid named Moochie.
Mooch?
My sources, she was taken by Zygerrian slavers. Bring me the kid, and I'll get you your intel.
Grab a kid from a few Zygerrians? We can do that in our sleep.
Hmm.
You alright? Yeah, it's nothing.
People were saying it was the little... I thought... the moment that happened, I was like, that's got to be the chip. What was it, episode 2? Now, this is part of the episode where shit goes down. It's a big ship.
I only see one child.
Poor Moochie.
You get back to the ship. That's an order.
I mean, she's not going to stay. She's going to help out in some kind of capacity.
Echo, you're the eyes in the sky. Wrecker, draw the Zygerrian forces out. Not a problem.
Cool. What is that? What is that? Behemoth. What is that? God damn it. Shit goes down.
Now,
Who is that?
no.
Yes, get the gonk droid. Like, ride the gonk droid into battle. I want to see that.
Now she's a bad batcher.
But she was going to say bad bitch then. Don't you dare.
Make sure no one's on board.
Hang on a minute, I recognise the species. Where'd she go? What? Well, she got lucky there with an exit. Also very convenient.
Hunter, do you copy?
Now he's captured.
Take.
It's like a flying squirrel.
What are our odds out of this, Tech?
I am not certain.
So much for being smart.
Use the force. Oh, well.
We won't need a comm to signal her.
I like the audio like design. You know, like the shackles and stuff.
We're not in a republic anymore, Scug.
Are these the species from that episode I talked about last week with the Anakin with the slavers and stuff? Like, is this that species? For fuck's sake! It's just gravity. It's just gravity.
We can
That
make
didn't even
things
affect it.
one part of a new beginning.
A
With
new
medal
beginning.
of
I mean, we're already in a new beginning. This is the Empire.
I know.
What is that?
I was unlocking.
Well, whatever it is, it's big. It's a Rancor! Ew, what the fuck? It's a baby Rancor. Looks fucking stupid.
Moochie! Moochie!
Oh, that's Moochie. What the fuck? Is that the same Rancor that appears in episode 6?
You find Moochie. Right. Go for the speeders at the south entrance.
Good. Fast Rancor is more dangerous than the bigger ones. It's celebrating. It's like, yeah! Rancor versus whatever that is, the flying squirrel. Godzilla versus Kong. That was easy.
I'll handle him.
I mean, makes sense. Leader versus leader. There you go, grab it. There we go. That was the easiest fight. I mean, we've only got 20 minutes. It was over before it even began. There were weapons. Oh, shield. No, wait. What the fuck? Horizon Zero Dawn? Yeah, it's Godzilla versus Kong. Yeah, do the Hulk. The Hulk. Bang, bang. Wrecker versus a Rancor. That didn't go well. Wrecker! Beating the shit out of each other, punching each other. They're both getting tired.
He's kind of cute up close.
No. I don't see it.
Graced by the presence of Jabba's right hand
Yeah.
man.
No. Why are you showing Bib Fortuna? He just died in Mandalorian. He really let himself go, didn't he?
This is
Does that make the episode 6 death of the Rancor most sad?
about the matter of payment.
It's funny. It's a nice little backstory for the Rancor, I think. But is it important to the overall plot?
Rudy, my office.
I mean, I guess it's all worth it for whatever information I'm getting out of
Your bounty hunter,
this.
Who hired her?
unknown. Good thing you met me then, isn't it?
So, she'll be like the money giver. Like, they have to do missions for her.
Don't worry. I'm good with secrets.
Why does she... I'm not going to sugarcoat it, right? I like the show. I just feel like it would have been better if they released it all at once, like to binge it. Because the style of show doesn't work. It's too slow. Like like the past 3 episodes, you probably could have skipped. Maybe not the third episode. The third episode actually has some decent stuff with the Empire. But the last 2, like, what information did we get out of this? What happened in this episode that actually progressed the storyline? Sure, we got a little cool Rancor thing, like a cool little Rancor backstory from episode 6. But other than that, like, I mean, that's cool. That's really cool, like, world building and stuff, and like making it canon. You need to pick up the pace, man. Like, it's too slow. Or just release the whole show at once. You know, kind of what, like, Daredevil did. You know, Daredevil's like hands down one of the best Marvel shows out there, or is the best Marvel show out there. But I don't know, like, legitimately, like, what did we learn differently, like, as an audience? Like, sure, the characters learn, oh, it's Fennec, but we knew that. I don't know, maybe it would have been cooler, I guess. Like, imagine if Mandalorian came after this, it might have worked. Maybe that was the plan from the get-go, but because Disney bought Star Wars, it fucked up the Clone Wars, and maybe after the Clone Wars they were going to do the Bad Batch. Because I know George, like, didn't he do like 100 episodes of like a, what was it, like, Underworld Coruscant TV show or something? He wrote 100 episodes for it, which is insane. But how many of them episodes were like just small outlines and actual full scripts? You know, like, you can do outlines for episodes, it's not hard, but full scripts for 100 episodes. Is this the definition of filler? Like, I guess it is. It's hard though, because like, when I think of filler, I think of like an episode that doesn't do anything for the plot, like, at all. Like, there's no character development, there's nothing that comes back in the future. Like, the Rancor stuff, yeah, but it doesn't impact the show. This show, it impacts the universe and, like, the movies and stuff. Like, what happens in one of the movies. But, I mean, it's what? One scene in episode 6? Like, 2 scenes, technically, in episode 6? And you spent a whole episode on that? Like, literally, the Rancor in episode 6 appears for what, like 5 minutes? Not even that. She appeared more in this episode than she did in episode 6. But you dedicated a whole episode to that. Like, I want to know what happened with Crosshair, I want to know what happens with the Empire. And I also want to know why they didn't just focus on the Bad Batch inside the Empire longer, instead of it just being the first episode. Because it's literally, the whole episode is exactly how I predicted it to be. It starts in space, they land on a planet, they do a fetch quest, and then, or like, shit goes down, which is the fetch quest, and then they go back into space. Well, or they leave the planet after that. Obviously we didn't get that at the end of the episode, but it was, the structure-wise, it was similar. And to me, that feels very Monster of the Week, like, more so Planet of the Week, I think. Like, Clone Wars, I think, at this point, was already at a place that I kind of enjoyed it. So people are saying that the Rancor in this episode isn't actually the Rancor in episode 6. The one in episode 6 was called Patesi. Patessa? And this one was called Moochie. But it's not like they give a shit about canon, because they retcon fucking Kanan's comic, so it doesn't matter. Timeline-wise, it makes sense that this is the one from episode 6, wouldn't it? I mean, I guess there is 50, isn't there, what, 18 years, isn't it? In between episodes? I guess it could work timeline-wise. Yeah, Zygerrian is from that, That was the episode I was referring to of Clone Wars last week. Cool to see Bib Fortuna. Bit weird, you know, he's dead now. Spoilers, I guess, because he died in Mandalorian Season 2. But, you know, so what is it this year that we're getting? It's Bad Batch and then Book of Boba Fett, right? So maybe this Moochie stuff could be setting up something with Book of Boba Fett? Surely they wouldn't retcon the name of the Rancor, right? Veka, also, yeah, the Veka stuff, something's up with the chip, because, like, a lot of people were saying when that episode aired, episode 2, was it episode 2? No, it was episode 3, right? Yeah, because it, like, because he had that, like, comparison with Crosshair and Omega being part, It was episode 3. Veka holding his head. Like, a lot of people thought that was because he just got hit and maybe he was pretending so he could build the room for Omega. Nah. If that was the case, he wouldn't have held it in this episode. Whatever happened when that part of the ship hit him in the head, it might have dislodged the chip to maybe activate it slowly, because we know they're defect like clones, so it doesn't activate in all of them. But him getting hit directly where the chip is gonna do something. Like, this show is fun, but I feel like it's a bit too fun for directly following Order 66. You know, I think it should be a little bit darker. Maybe that's just me. Like, Veka fighting an adolescent Rancor. It's kind of weird. Going from clones killing the Jedi to then fighting an adolescent Rancor. Moochie seems intelligent. You know, like, she kind of knew what was going on. Kinda. And when Bib kind of went up to her. But I don't understand why they do that though. Like, why would you have Bib Fortuna? Because that, to me, like, it's before episode 6, so you'd assume it'd be related to episode 6. It was a male, wasn't it, in episode 6? That'll be interesting to see. If it's in Book of Boba Fett, I'll excuse it, but if it isn't, But where was it in episode 6? See, now there's plot holes. It's like, okay, well, if Moochie was at Jabba's palace, right? Where was she in episode 6? You're putting holes in your fucking canon. See, this is the problem. You've already got an established canon. Like, why are you fucking with it? Why didn't you just let it be Patessa and then it would have been better? I feel like, because now they're like, watch Moochie appear in Book of Boba Fett, and then you'll be like, where was Moochie in episode 6? We'll explain it in a novel. What do you mean you'll explain it in a novel? Because we don't have time to do it in the show or whatever. Well, no, you do, but you just don't want to because it's a plot hole. So you let someone else do it, and then you'll retcon that. Like, I like new shit in a universe. Like, look at the Marvel Universe, right? I like what they're doing in the Marvel Universe. I'm not as hyped as I was, like, back when Infinity War and Endgame came out. I was fucking hyped for Infinity War. Like, that build-up to Thanos appearing was so good. And you had a good stretch of films, too. But now, like, I'm not, like, super enthusiastic about the MCU. Like, I like WandaVision. Falcon Winter Soldier was good with writing issues here and there. WandaVision did kind of turn into a classical Marvel film towards the end. Like, I thought Agatha was an interesting villain, and then she just became this mediocre villain, you know? And Loki, we'll see what's going on for that, because I think Loki might be the best one. I think, because I literally got it up right here, like, a new trailer for Loki. I'm not going to watch it, though. Like, we're going to be entertained. Is it next Wednesday it's coming out, or the Wednesday after? It's the Wednesday after, right? I'm not too enthusiastic about that episode. It's good. You know, I know some people might love the episode, which is perfectly fine. At the end of the day, this is just my opinion. I just don't see where we're going story-wise. Like, what are we doing? Like, the general idea of the show, what I thought it would be, is that it'd follow the Bad Batch, like, as they're inside the Empire. And then we see the rise of the Empire through the eyes of the Bad Batch. But we're not seeing that. We're just seeing these Planet of the Week type of episodes. And Crosshair's the one that's seeing the Empire stuff. And we're barely even seeing that. We've seen it once in one episode. And the beginning of, I guess, episode 1, 2. Which is still the best episode. And that says something. If the first episode of the show is the best episode of the show as a whole, it says something about the direction the show's taking. Because if the good thing about episode 1 is that it was jam-packed. It was an hour long. And we had a lot going on. It was following Order 66 and, like, the rise of the Empire. And it was connecting a little bit more to the film. And now, like, it's doing original content. But it seems they're trying to, like, piggyback off Clone Wars a bit too much. Like, the Zygerrian stuff, like, seems like a piggyback off Clone Wars. I literally mentioned that planet last week. Didn't I? I was talking about that story, like, last week. Because that's what I thought the planet was. Like, I thought Pantora was that planet. But then they have the actual species that was on that planet in this episode. So it's weird. That's weird. I guess I was right in some kind of fashion, but it wasn't the planet from that arc. Still, like, it's cool. I just don't think anything stands out in the episode other than maybe, like, her talking to the doll and the chip stuff with Wrecker. But that was barely any different to what they did, like, 2 episodes ago. You know what I mean? Like, they did the same thing 2 episodes ago. Like, Wrecker holds his head for a little bit, and then that's it. And then it doesn't really do anything. It's not intriguing me. Like, I was expecting to be excited. Like, episode 1 I loved. Like, I was really into the show then. But now I'm getting taken out of it. It's just, it doesn't feel like they know what they're doing story-wise. It feels like we're stuck in, like, a loop. Like, or like you know when a record gets stuck? Like, it's like that. It's just kind of stuck in this cycle of land on a planet, go to the planet, shit goes down, leave the planet, and then eventually we'll get to, like, episode 8 or something, and then it'll, like, start spinning again. And then it'll stop, and then we'll do the same things again, and then it'll start spinning again for the finale. Like, that's what I'm getting. Because episode 2, okay, we saw cut. See, that's what I mean, though, about the Clone Wars stuff. It's piggybacking off Clone Wars. I want it to feel like it has its own identity. And obviously, we know it's like season 8 of Clone Wars. It basically is, but I want it to have its own identity, to feel unique enough to be its own thing. Like Rebels. Like, look at Rebels, man. Rebels was good. Well, first season was a little bit rocky, but later on in the first season, it got great. Season 2 was fantastic. Season 3 with Thrawn was really good. And then Season 4, I can't remember much of Season 4, I'll be honest. But I remember the finale. You know, Sidious and stuff appearing, and the time stuff, and the world between worlds, right? Like, there's certain elements that pique my interest. but then they go away from it. Like, it piques my interest at the end of the episode, and then they go away from it the next episode, and it's just like, what the fuck? Like, literally, what did we learn as an audience differently from last episode? We knew it was Fennec, we know she was a bounty hunter, and the only thing we don't know is who's hired her. But we can assume that it's the Commonians. Like, because episode 3 they talked about, like, they need Omega. Well, they didn't say that, but they basically hinted at it. Maybe I'm wrong, though. It might be someone completely different, but I guess the Moochie stuff was Jabba. Halfway through the episode, it was late to the Jabba stuff. Because they didn't show Bib Fortuna's face, and I was like, eh. But yeah, Bib Fortuna, man, he really let himself go in episode... I mean, after episode 6, because I guess Jabba died, and then he just got depressed, maybe. I don't know. Can we just... I'd rather take... Instead of these episodes of Bad Batch, we could have gotten Son of Dathomir. Because you can't retcon the comic, because the only reason the comic exists is because the show got cancelled in the first place. But now the show came back, it's not hard to go back and like redo that episode. Like, you see most of the voice work's done, right? And maybe do the Death on Utapau stuff. Like, someone did like a cinematic version of one of the scenes from Death on Utapau with Obi-Wan and Anakin. I think it was like done in... Was it Frostbite? I think, in like Battlefront 2. Really cool. Really cool. But yeah, good episode. Not much happened, story-wise anyway. Because obviously stuff did happen, it just wasn't progressing the story kind of stuff. But yeah, because I mean, everything that we learned in the episode, we kind of figured last episode. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Cha-cha! And